What's shaking, Shake Nation? Welcome to episode 1 of Milkshake with the Boys. I'm Damo, and I had the honour of bringing you all in for the very first sentence of this podcast. I think without further ado, we should just get straight into it, start getting everyone introduced, get you acquainted with the crew, and I don't think there's any better way to start than this man right here. So, Das, welcome aboard.
Ahoy, everybody. I'm Das. As this is a milk-themed podcast, I felt like there's probably no better way to get acquainted, as you said, Damo, to the rest of us than to learn about our favourite milks or milk beverage of choice. Now, my favourite milk is a bit of a left of centre milk, but it's actually the egg flip Big M.
Egg flip.
That's my favourite.
Don't mind it.
Milk.
I don't mind it. I applaud that, Darth.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Niche.
It is very niche.
That, yeah.
Yeah, you can't always get it. Seasonal milk.
You know what?
Seasonal
It
milk.
cops a lot of hate as well, doesn't it? It cops a lot
It
of
does.
hate.
Unwarranted
for no
hate,
reason.
I would say. Unwarranted.
Well, when it's in
The
season.
thing that doesn't make sense to me is that both dairy products, egg,
Yeah.
milk, both dairy products, why would they not go well together?
Oh,
Can you
beats
call
me.
Can you call egg a dairy product?
Probably technically poultry, but
Yeah.
oh,
I think
close enough. Close enough.
Grows on the same farm.
You grow milk, don't you? And you grow
You
eggs.
do. From the milk trees and the egg trees.
oh god.
Well, when it's in season, we'll have to maybe get some of it on the show and see how it goes down.
Yes, we will if we can
Yes.
find some.
Very, very good. All right. Next on the list, Kerwin, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Dan. Pleasure to be here. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
It has, but glad it's here.
Oh look, I think me more than anyone, really. It is my stories, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose what you could say is it's a series of my awkward life events that have led us to this podcast. I won't really elaborate too much further on that because if you know, you know.
It is quite inside joke though, so not many people know.
Yep.
Very, very small circle of
Yeah.
people who do actually know.
Yep.
Future
that
ep,
is-
though.
It keeps it a
Release
lot
to the
better for me. I think we'll keep the listeners
It has.
hanging
for
on
many
to
of them.
this drama because it's probably the most dramatic thing that will ever happen in this podcast.
Tantalising. Just
Yeah.
dangle that carrot out in front of the listeners.
Yeah,
Keep them
yeah.
on tentacles.
It's looking like it. Yeah, I know. They'll be shivering, waiting for the next piece
They will.
and the next clue. Yeah. My favourite
Darth.
milk drink. I don't think you can beat a classic Milo.
Oh.
Made
Controversial
by-
milk drink because it's
Oh.
something added to milk, but
but it's a milk beverage, and I think the simpler you keep milk, the nicer it is. But I don't really drink plain milk, so there's a bit of conflicting message in there. But
Mm. Cold?
That's a good
but
point.
yeah, cold. Yeah, and the reason this is because for a long time, the drink section of the fridge was restricted to anything that wasn't too sugary. So flavored
so
milk,
you've added the sugar in post drink.
yeah, got
Sneaky.
yeah. So I would have had to have snuck around, or not the sneaky type, if you know me. So.
Well, it is healthy. Isn't a Milo milk 4.5 health stars? If
Oh,
I'm not
this
is,
mistaken?
yes.
This is a
It is.
controversial health star rating though, because
It
the
is,
4 of the stars is actually because of the milk.
yeah.
Well, the
And
Milo
what
is
they've
that
done
extra
is-
half a star.
Only-
They've added the half a star from the Milo.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the Milo should subtract from the milk.
I don't think it's
Oh.
subtracts. No, I think
But
this is a
then-
good point. It does still add.
Yeah, obviously
It adds
has
to the
vary.
flavour, so it should add to the rating.
I
Exactly.
suppose
That's
it
how it
depends.
works.
So does that mean if you use more Milo, you're adding more health star rating to your?
I think so.
Yeah. Yes.
Lucky for me.
Is that how I
I've been
get
very
in
healthy.
such a fine figure like you? Is that how I get in such a fine figure like you, Kerwin? More Milo? Is that
we'll,
the secret?
we'll save the comments on the figures for another episode. We might go topless. I'm
On
not bringing
the
that up
OnlyFans.
because you can't see it anyway. Because unless we get sponsored, wink wink at all our prospective sponsors. If you give us enough money, we'll we'll tell you how good your stuff tastes, and we'll get a kid off for it at the same time. So nothing to lose.
2 for 1 for the listeners there.
I'd say it's incredibly sound investment. Yeah.
Well, I reckon
bad
there's
bets there at
queue
all.
of sponsors just waiting, throwing their money at us.
But to be more specific, the
Like
Milo
we're
has
strippers.
to have 2 spoonfuls of Milo underneath the milk. So you put 2 spoons of Milo on the bottom, and then you just go straight on top of the cold milk. Not too much aggression though, because you don't want to disturb the bottom layer. Because if you pour it too viciously, you'll upset the layer, and you'll just end up with Milo on top. And what's the point of that? So, but then what you do is once you've filled it to near the top, you just want to leave it a little bit so that the cup can provide some structural support to the Milo. The 1 scoop of Milo goes on top. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. So I prefer to use heap teaspoons, just because of the glasses that we use in this house. But yeah, so the idea is just you spoon away the milk. It makes it quite enjoyable. Yeah.
We'll end the episode there. Thanks for
delightful.
your review of the Milo.
That's it. That's all the time we've got for today after Kevin's extensive Milo description.
Yeah.
Cheers, Kevin.
Well, before we do run out of time, we better introduce the last member here, Cheesy. Welcome.
Oh, hello, boys. Thanks for having me.
That's a while, haven't you?
Very humbling, the fact that I've made it this far in my life.
Yeah,
it means a lot.
Quite the milestone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely something to look back and be proud of.
Yeah, spot on, Kerwin.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, I'm a pretty boring bloke, but I guess if there's a few things you should know about me, my PSN name is Vital Cheesy. Hit me up. I'll probably ruin your ass on COD. I think my kill death ratio is sitting at about 3.2 right now. If you want to get slapped around, hit me up again. I will do that. I will beat you.
3.2.
3.2. Don't try to rip me off.
How PG do I have to keep my comments?
How much of that though is work of Bob? Because I feel like he's had a bit to do with that.
There's a rumor going around that my dad may have boosted my kill death ratio substantially. I will confirm or deny that rumor right now. To myself the embarrassment, but yes. Nah, Bob's good on the sticks. He's a very good COD player. Shout out Bob.
Shout out Bob.
Shout out Bob.
Shout out, Bob.
Well, I guess if we're talking favourite milks as well, boys, I'm probably have to go. Now, this one's, I don't know if it's going to attract the same attention because it is a local Southwest milk, is the FM flavoured milk honeycomb flavoured milk.
Ooh.
Now, I'm telling you what, if I want to, my last meal before I get electrocuted in a chair, I'm just asking for a slab of honeycomb milks. That's all I want.
How many litres is in a slab?
I feel like on death row that might be a bit much to ask.
It depends if you're getting the small carton or the big carton. I'm taking the big carton, so 600. Do your math. 600 times 24 mils. We're talking for all those American people out there that don't do
Fluid ounces
measurement systems. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me have my little intro, boys, and I'll take it back to Damo or Kerwin, or who knows.
Well, it was worth the wait. I did enjoy it. Still wondering why you're on death row, but
yeah, we won't get into that.
It's hypothetical. It's for that because of that 3.2 kill death ratio.
It's actually real
Killed
life.
too many people. They want me dead.
If anyone was wondering, we're actually having a prison break Milkshake with the boys cross. So stay tuned for more details.
We're going to get him out. While we're on the topic of favourite milks, our very first segment of the podcast is actually going to be a review from Damo. This is going to be a recurring segment, by the way, of Damo reviewing a milk he's had during the week and putting it onto a what are those rating scales called, Damo?
We'll go with some tiers. I feel like stars and numbers.
That's it. All the rage tier list.
Yeah, no, stars and numbers don't really cut it, because some things are just too close to call, and you just can't put a number on milk.
And you can't put it one system for everything.
Exactly.
Not everything fits the same system. You got to be.
Spot on.
And this is the system for milk, which is also why I didn't share my favourite milk to begin with, because a spoiler alert for a future milk review. We don't want to spoil that now, do we?
No.
No, we don't.
This segment is very exciting and has that much hype around it that my friend Compass is pointing up to Jesus right now.
God is your friend.
Shout out
Sounds
South
good to
Park.
me.
Right, Damo,
Well,
bring it on.
There's a lot of pressure on this now. You know, you've built up this milk review. I don't know if it will live up to those high expectations, but I'll try my best.
Forward to it.
Well, I suppose a big inspiration for me, not just in reviewing milk, but in everyday life, would have to be Peter Hooley, NBL Peter Hooley. Shout out Peter. He loves to review coffee from time to time on his Instagram, and I thought, you know, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I am a chocolate milk drinker and a milk drinker in general. So I thought I'd start to review some different kinds of milks. And first one, I think, should we leave the type of milk until last? You might just have to have a guess, will we, first? You know, leave a bit of a mystery.
Jeez.
So you
I'll
give
tell you,
us
it's a bit of a-
give us
the whole
your review,
spiel
and we have to
at
guess
the
the kind of milk. Is that?
So
All
it's a bit of a who am I, is it? Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
All right.
That's entrepreneurship right there, boys.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my kind of spice.
Yeah. All right.
I know. Hit a Damo enough for this small talk.
Well, the milk that is in question, first thought was the smooth texture of the drink. You know, some things might be a bit different if it's like if it's got other things in the milk. You know,
Like
you feel me? Like a Milo or something, for example.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, could have some stray Milo in there. This drink, so I might have just ruled out Milo, but anyway, this drink was smooth. You know, smooth as a baby's bottom.
Oh, jeez.
No impurities in there, and the consistency was just right. You know, I felt like Goldilocks. Some milky drinks might be a bit too thick, a bit like a syrup. We'll get to that in the future if I have a chance to review the drink I'm thinking of.
Okay.
And some milks might be a little bit watered down, which we could come across in the future too. But this
milk.
was as all milk
Classy
would be. Yeah,
Almond. Trash.
spot on.
No one wants that shit.
No, we don't. But yeah, this was as all milk should be in terms of consistency. But the taste, it wasn't overbearing. You know, it wasn't too in your face, and there was no bad aftertaste, so that was positive. But you know, it wasn't enough flavour to it, if you feel me. You know, like, you don't have to take me all the way to Flavour Town, but just give me a little something. You know, it was just a little
just a
blend for
crumb.
my liking. Yeah, that's right. So,
sure.
I suppose in terms of visual medium, you have a tiered list. Do we have an Instagram?
Maybe not.
Well, I'd say it's in the making.
We'll put the handle down below.
Tower Publishing, we
It
will
would probably be the first podcast to have an Instagram page as well. That's more entrepreneuring.
Very original.
But yeah, continue.
Yeah. Well, check out the link down below to the Instagram if you want to see the visual tier list. But we've got at the pinnacle, milk that tastes like real milk. One down is You Bloody Ripper. And we've got Right On in the middle. To see it. Just like Vakitis would say, you know, right on.
Yes, right
got
on.
a Yeah Nah at number 4.
Ooh.
Down the bottom, we got Dishwater.
Oof.
Now,
No
you don't want to be in the...
Cash tea.
No.
Cash tea.
Yeah,
Unless you put chalky milk down the sink.
Even then, I don't think I'd want to be indulging. Yeah, that's...
So,
fair enough, Kerwin. Not a Classico.
No.
This milk in question, I gave it a Right On. You know, as I said, flavour was a little bit too bland, but the physical characteristics of the milk were quite pleasant. So, chuck it in the middle. I wouldn't have I wouldn't chug 2 litres of it. But, a glass here and there wouldn't be too bad.
So
Any
what
guesses?
I'm hearing here is that this drink is a pre-manufactured drink that comes from a 2-litre bottle. So what I want to say is we can rule out
Yes.
Nesquik, Milo, all that.
Yeah,
I
it came from a
left of
bottle.
centre. Oh, bottle. Okay,
I
that
won't-
just thrown me a bit.
Or
gonna say
like
Up
a
and Go.
carton bottle. I won't disclose. Like nothing was added to it, is what I mean. Like it came from the
pre-packed,
source,
pre-packed.
off the shelf. Yep, in the package, and then into a glass.
Nothing had to be mixed. Well, my guess, bit left of centre, is an Up and Go.
Interesting.
You get
That's
Up
how I
and Go
was.
in
but
2-litre
Nice,
bottles.
nice
Okay.
texture, but the flavour, bit weird, bit nothing.
Yeah, look, Up and
But
Go.
some would say
Yeah.
Up and Go's sort of chunky milk. Like, not a knock on Up and Go. One of my favourite mans, Matthew Dellavedova. Shout out, absolute legend.
Love you,
Up
Deli.
and Go sponsor. I do love my Up and Goes, but I don't know if that's the texture he was explaining.
Spot on it.
Fucking
It
me
was not an Up and
for a
Go.
second.
Fair enough.
I feel like because you
I
said
feel
the
like-
taste wasn't strong, that you're ruling out
Mm.
certain flavours like honeycomb, banana,
Yeah.
all those flavours that really sort of knock your socks off. Yeah.
Mm. That's my buzzer. I'd like to lock it in, Damo. I'm going to say you were drinking just regular full cream milk this time. That's my humble opinion. I just have a
Humble
feeling you're saying the flavour wasn't there. And obviously, like regular full cream milk is one of the best drinks on the planet for how many ways you can use it. And it just it's good
Versatile.
for everything.
Oh,
It's very versatile. Oh, You guys are in sync. I love it. But that's my guess. I'm going to lock it in, Damo.
I like
Any takes, Kerwin?
Look, I'm going to say Damon's avoided any sort of interaction with milk that isn't real milk. For example, milk that comes from nuts or any other sort of non-cow
Almonds.
variety.
nut
Almonds.
juice, that is. Nut
Yeah.
juice.
Yeah, cow's milk, I think Damon stuck to. I don't think he had ventured too far into the realms of goat milk or any other animals that can make milk.
You're bringing up a lot of points here.
Yeah, I feel like he's had his time with breast milk, but, we'll...
You'd hope he's moved past that one.
You would hope so.
I mean, that could be bad areas there.
It was not breast milk. Can confirm.
I'm going to say, simply because of its availability, I'm going to say you went for a chocolate Big M, even though it's risky, and we know how good that tastes. Big M, please sponsor us.
The classic,
Oh,
most classic
shout
chocolate.
out Big M.
You've only got.
If it was
yeah,
chocolate Big M and we wanted a sponsor, I would not be putting it right on the
No.
tier list.
This is.
The only thing is,
I changed my answer.
chalky milk is definitely a milk that tastes like real milk.
It is. It is.
Like,
You
it
never
is-
know.
No, wait, I don't know. I haven't reviewed it yet. I can't.
Well, in that
Exactly.
case, I changed it to the
Hey, don't take
when
his
you go to-
batsies.
No, you can't change. You can't change. You've locked it in.
Oh, Darth, would you like another guess as well?
podcast is named after me. This podcast is named after me. I am entitled to certain privileges.
Well, if you subscribe to our Patreon, we might tell you the meaning behind
Origin
the
story.
podcast name. Yeah, the origin story.
Oh, jeez.
Tell us.
So,
Mate. Put us
I'm
on.
going to change it to
Oh,
the.
yeah, we'll try and
I'm going to change it to drought relief light milk, low fat.
drought relief light milk. So
Yeah.
what if it was
For all
just
our overseas.
normal light milk?
Very specific.
Well,
Yes.
I think if someone else chose light milk, then I could sort of,
Pep them.
more specific than the other person. Yeah.
Well, good guess, but you're wrong,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Can
And
I have another guess?
no,
No, you can't.
one guess each. But its guess was spot on.
Wow.
Full cream.
Full cream
Full
milk.
cream.
That knows it's milk.
Wow.
However, Kerwin was kind of on the money. It was drought relief full cream milk. So
Dog, you surely
yeah.
get a point for drought
half a
relief.
point. Half a point.
Right out there. Gee, I feel.
Feel like you're
Bad
selling me.
luck, Darcy.
I feel like you're selling me
Ali,
short.
let's
No, but-
clarify that I'm on top.
I
Yeah,
like
we'll
how
keep
you.
a tally along with this as well.
I like how you're supporting the farmers, Damon, drought relief.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah,
that
of
we
course.
support
You
our
know, we
farmers.
love our
Yeah, for all
Australian.
our overseas
Yeah.
listeners, drought relief, obviously, because of the droughts that have been happening in the northern side of Australia, I guess, the northern states. It's great cause, this drought relief milk. Just helps support our local farmers that are doing it tough right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And we know without our farmers, our dairy farmers, we don't have any chalky milk.
Exactly. So shout out to
Yeah.
them, and that's
It'd
right.
be a rough world
Cream
to
it
live
right
in.
on. Well, I guess milk can be used as a bit of a toast, you know, celebratory drink for a great
Yeah.
occasion. And you know what else people like to do when they kick a goal? They like to celebrate. Might not have some milk, but in sport, we love a celebration.
We
And
do.
I think Das might have one to
Let's
share
the
with us.
St Kilda Football Club. Dare.
Mm.
Shout out Dare. We'll take a sponsor as well, Dare.
All right, so I'm going to highlight for you a celebration in our Aussie Sports Celebration of the Week segment, which bit of a confusing name because the celebration doesn't necessarily have to come from that week. It's just the week of the podcast. So the celebration I've chosen to highlight today is of a spectacular sportsman, fellow podcaster, or podcast guest, I should say, celebrity TV appearance, Daniel Gorringe, Gozza.
Oz!
God,
I've seen this.
ripped off in the Big Brother, man.
He was absolutely robbed. Had
I
money on him,
voted for
but
you.
that's okay.
I voted
I
for
voted
you.
for you 3 times,
We all did.
Oz.
Guys, if you want to come on the show, let us know. We'll have you on. But I've seen this clip during the week of a rare Daniel Gorringe goal, not for the Suns, for the Blues, where
Da 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 da. Love
the
to
Blue
see it.
Baggers.
The
There was
flaggers.
a ball. I can't quite remember how the setup happened, but basically the footy was kicked and it got right next to the goal line, bounced in the square. Guys of the athletic prowess jumped up, karate kicked Jackie Chan out of midair,
Oh,
right on the line. Now
Does have some hops.
wowee.
he does have some hops. Toe on the boot, clearly a goal. For some reason, they've decided to do a review. But this is what makes the celebration so great, because everyone knows it's clearly a goal. Because the way it works, either the ball is in if it's not fully over the line, or it's already fully over the line. The commentators were saying some rubbish about he's kicked it as it's on the line. Doesn't matter. That's in. That's in play. Everyone knows it's a goal. They've gone set up in the middle, ready for the play to resume from the centre bounce. Eventually, this message comes up on the screen. Got the all clear. It's a goal. Umpire does the signal. Camera cuts to Gozza. Just a single Breakfast Club-esque one punch, fist in the air, celebration with himself. There's no one got around him because it was a score review goal. But the celebration is there. You can tell he's loving it inside, but he doesn't want to show it too much. And he's just probably thinking, why was this ruined by a score review? At least he got the goal down on the score sheet, and he'll have that to remember forever.
Yes.
I
Can't
think he
take that
dealt
off
with
him now.
the anti-climax of the score review quite professionally as well.
He did.
It's almost as if he'd done it before.
He was probably quite used to some anticlimactic plays in sport, being delisted from the Suns. But look, it was a spectacular goal, and it deserved a lot better celebration than what was given. That's why I wanted to highlight that on this week's segment.
Would Gorringe have been in his prime at Gold Coast or Carlton?
Oh, it's tough to say. It is tough to say. What do you think? I see.
Well,
Ed, I don't know if you were old enough as a Blue Baggers supporter to see any of Gorringe in the flesh.
I can't say I was the biggest fan of Gozza during his time at Carlton. I thought he was not the best player on the team, but I feel like now looking back on how successful he's become due to his like social media influence and all that sort of stuff, you can tell that he was a real like team, a real charisma.
Yeah,
Charismatic.
Charisma bloke.
Culture guy.
He was high charisma
culture
bloke.
guy.
And
Every team
100%
needs a culture
lift the
guy.
culture up around the club. Same as Dill Buckley. We'll also have you on the podcast, or if you want us on the
Our rival
podcast. We're happy
podcast.
either way.
We'll have you both.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
'Cause-
yeah, I feel like it might have been events like that as well that probably cut his career a bit short. Just people second guessing him, like they second guess that goal. I just feel like he
big
never
time.
got really a fair crack at it.
Big time. Look, arguably, if it was someone like Cyril Rioli, Liam Ryan, someone that they would have called a goal straight away, there'd be no question.
Or Chad. They didn't recount the votes. Where was the review there?
No, exactly.
I'm outraged.
Yep.
It is an outrage, but look, this is a sports celebration segment, not a reality TV segment. So, Goza, our hearts go out to you for how your goal was downplayed because of a stupid umpiring decision, but hats off to you all the same for pulling it off. And if you want to see this celebration of the week, Goza's spectacular goal, the clip will be on our Instagram, which is at MSWTB_pod, and that'll be up there. Links in the description. Check it out. Give Goz some love.
Yeah, you might even be lucky enough to be one of our first few followers before we get famous. I don't know how follow backs are going to work. You might have to ask social media manager Ed. He'd be the chief poster, but see what can be arranged.
We'll have to start spamming the Goza hashtags in our posts. Try getting
I'm sure
get
it's
some
all over
attention.
it, yeah. Sounds like he knows what he's talking about. All right, Shakers. That brings us to the end of our first ever podcast of Milkshake with the Boys. I hope you've enjoyed it, or we all hope you've enjoyed it. Right, boys?
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
definitely.
Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as us.
Yeah. That's exactly what I said, Ed. But thank you for adding that. I'm doing the conclusion today because I have not had a segment to produce and put out to the world. So for any of you listeners that would like to hear or watch me have a crack at doing something, send through your ideas because we're all ears. So,
How can they send them through to you, Daniel?
Well, you can DM us on our Instagram, which was mentioned earlier. Our tag is at MSWTB_pod. You'll find all the highlights from our episodes, or some highlights, or maybe there's only a couple of
Not all, because that'll probably be an hour long. We're just all highlights.
Yeah. We'll put on what we think is funny. So if you don't like it, don't listen.
Self-love.
We also have a Twitter handle. Damon, I believe it is
Milkshake WTB, is it?
Yeah.
Can I confirm with Ed?
Social media manager.
You can confirm with the description that we'll plug it in.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, it'll be there.
It'll all be
Twitter.
on the Instagram, and we also have an email. But that's for probably
Business inquiries.
Save the email for very professional
Big
things, such as
sponsorship offers.
such as our sponsorship. In all seriousness, if you want the world to know how good whatever it is you do or make,
And how legitimate your income is.
and and to avoid any tax office kerfuffle, let us know. Pay us. We'll tell everyone how good we think you are and how good everyone should think you are. So yeah, I feel like this is as good a platform as any. It won't cost you very much, but it'll be
More of a pay what you want kind of system at the moment.
Yeah, but without any further ado, I think we'll wrap that one up. Thanks again for listening. For anyone who did listen all the way through the end, you've done well. And I guess there's nothing much left to say other than shake on, Shake Nation.
Shake on.
Shake on, Shake Nation.